Hey, y'all, this is Derek from the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. To see more videos like what you're about to see, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help support this independent podcast. Elijah Moore last year, 37 receptions, 65 targets, 446 yards, 1 touchdown, 4.1 targets per game.
I like how he can fit into this offense. I like that he's a quick twitch guy, gives some burst to this offense that's in the slot, right? So you had Donovan Peoples-Jones last year who lined up on the outside, Amari Cooper, and this gives him another option to kind of split that seam because that's not what David Njoku does. I like his ability to be relevant in this offense. Now, I think you're still looking at, top end wide receiver 3. He might finish as wide receiver 28 this coming season, right? Just outside of wide receiver 2 territory. He'll see some more targets. He has the ability to kind of make splash plays throughout the game. So, you'll have 1 or 2 games this season where you'll undoubtedly see him just kind of go bananas. So I do like him for best ball for that reason.
You're only as good as the quarterback throwing you the football. And in New York, there was a lot to be desired at that position. But, you mentioned his target number there of 65 and I don't have the next gen stats, the quality of targets that were coming his way, but you'd like to think again with a quarterback the caliber of Deshaun Watson that the reception to target number gets a little closer, right? He also got, not a ton, but he did get a little bit of the receiving work, right? And if there's one thing that Kevin Stefanski, not receiving work, a couple rushes, you got a couple carries,
the end arounds, the reverses,
the end arounds and stuff. And if there's one thing that Kevin Stefanski does really well, it is incorporate playmakers and find unique ways to get them the ball. I would like to say that, the target number probably goes up. The reception number probably goes up as well, just based on the quality of targets that he's going to get. And because of that, you would have to think that production follows, with touchdowns and yardage. So I don't mind him as a depth piece, a guy that, you got to be careful about.
Oh, absolutely. And where he's coming off the board right now too, right? Like you're talking pick 119 overall, wide receiver 50. Like there's a really good chance that I think that he adds value to you. You're talking kind of in that 10th round as far as a pick goes, and that's a spot that feels all right to try and take your shot on him in the 10th round type of thing. I don't know that I don't necessarily know that that's where I'm looking to necessarily go that route. There's a few guys kind of in that similar kind of draft capital that I think I'd rather probably go with. Like Samaje Perine is a guy that's sitting there kind of in that same deal. I would take Samaje Perine over an Elijah Moore there, right? Like we kind of already talked about that one already when we talked about the Broncos there. But that is still a shot that's probably worth taking. And it's one of those that I think he will probably easily perform into wide receiver 3 territory, probably somewhere around wide receiver 35, 36, somewhere when it's all said and done there. So he'll return some value, give you a couple of good games there. But it's going to be one of those that you're going to have to pick and choose and really hope that you get that one right if you're playing him in a redraft in a season long.